What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Monday, March 30th. These picks apply for the FanDuel simulated slates. And at the end of this video, I'll give you a few DraftKings picks for their simulated showdown slates. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work on FanDuel, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple, they just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy, you can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random, and then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, let's get into these picks. Okay, let's get into the point guard position. I like Kyle Lowry, projected at 39.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 7,700 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, so that's great. He has only a 15% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 57% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and he has a 28% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So not a lot of low-end risk here with a lot of upside. So I like Kyle Lowry here at 7,700 FanDuel salary. And a value play that I like here at point guard is Ish Smith, projected at 23.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 4,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 22% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 52% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 25% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And he has a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So he has a 27% chance to score 30 fantasy points or more and get you over 6 times value. So I like Ish Smith here at 4,500 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like Jeremy Lamb, projected at 24.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,800 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 20% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 50% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. And he has a 30% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like those odds. So I like Jeremy Lamb here at 4,800 FanDuel salary. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. In a value play at shooting guard with some big upside, I like Jordan Mccray, projected at 21.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,100 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 29% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 54% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's your value zone. Then he has a 9% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And then a 9% chance to break the slate and score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Jordan Mccray here at 4,100 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I'm going to give you a stud here. I try to give you the value plays, but you got to get some exposure to Giannis Antetokounmpo, projected at 57.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 11,400 FanDuel salary. I just wanted to go over his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 0% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 16% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 53% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So that's your value zone. And then a 31% chance to score 60 plus fantasy points. He's got a 70, a 74, 74, tons of big games. He's got a game he scored 80 fantasy points. So this guy's got major upside, almost zero low-end risk. So with all the value plays on the slate, get yourself some Giannis. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo here at 11,400 FanDuel salary. And a mid-range play that I like at the small forward position is Marcus Morris, projected at 27.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 5,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. An 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 52% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 30% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 6% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And a 2% chance to score 60 plus fantasy points. So that's a 38% chance to get you over 5 times value. So I like Marcus Morris here at 5,500 FanDuel salary. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Kawhi Leonard, projected at 47.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 9,400 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 0% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 49% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 37% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And a 14% chance to score 60 plus fantasy points. So that's a 51% chance to get you over 5 times value. So I like Kawhi Leonard here at 9,400 FanDuel salary. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look, guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. In a mid-range play here at the power forward position, I like Blake Griffin, projected at 26.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,100 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. Not a ton of games to pull from here. So he's got an 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 56% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, and a 33% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So a 33% chance to get you 5.5 times value or more. I like those odds. So I like Blake Griffin here at 5,100 FanDuel salary. Okay, moving on to the center position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like PJ Tucker, projected at 21.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,100 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 31% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 47% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. And a 22% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So you're looking at over 30% chance to get you way over 5 times value. Probably more like 40+% chance to get you 5 times value or more. So I like PJ Tucker here at only 4,100 FanDuel salary. Another center that I like is Montrezl Harrell, projected at 33.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 6,600 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. Only a 3% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. A 42% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. A 44% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. A 10% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So that's a 56% chance to get you over 5 times value. So I like Montrezl Harrell here at 6,600 FanDuel salary. Okay, before we get into lineup building, I'm just going to give you a couple picks here for the DraftKings Showdown slate. I'm going to give you a value play that's popping off the page here. It's Rodney Hood, projected at 19.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 9 times value. He's only 2,200 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 33% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 48% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, which is crushing value. And then he has a 19% chance to break the slate and score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I think Rodney Hood is a lock here. So I like Rodney Hood here at only 2,200 DraftKings salary. Okay, another value play that I like is Trevor Ariza, projected at 19.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's 4,000 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 34% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 43% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. That's your value zone. Then he has a 23% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like Trevor Ariza here at only 4,000 DraftKings salary. But comparing those two guys, you can see why Rodney Hood is such a good play. He's projected for more fantasy points, and he's nearly half the price. Now with those value plays, it's going to allow you to fit in your studs like Damian Lillard, Hassan Whiteside, Nikola Jokic. So those are the guys that I'm looking at for this DraftKings Showdown.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the Crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate, so you can come on in and check that out.